Hey guys, thank you for tuning in and welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to come make a video, talk to you guys about what's been going on, where I've been, why I take such big breaks, and just catch y'all up on where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, this last year has been hard for me. Like, I've been struggling really hard, and I've sat here for about, I know, 30-45 minutes just trying to explain to y'all what happened, but I couldn't even get it out. Like, it's, and y'all, I'm struggling. A long story short is I've been pregnant twice this last year, and all three of my babies are gone. I lost them due to PPROM, and that is premature preterm rupture of the membranes, and it's basically just where your water breaks early and you end up going into labor, and there's nothing they can do to prevent it. It's probably something they can do to stop it, but they can't prevent it. And yeah, I don't even know. I don't know how to even tell this story. Like, I'm just gonna start where I can start, because it's coming up on, in December it'll be a year of my first prom experience, and we just hit a month mark of the second one. So okay, my first pregnancy, I found out I was pregnant in September of 2018, and okay, yeah, so my water broke on November the 27th, and I think I could just, or I'll just try to go through that day with you guys. So it's just what I can remember about that day. I woke up my regular time around 5-ish, probably 4:30ish, 5-ish, and I wanted to take a bubble bath. So I just took, like, not a bubble bath, I just took a quick bath before I went to work. But I noticed that I noticed like a sharp pain, but it, like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, I don't even know if that had anything to do with it, but I did notice like a pain that morning. But I brushed it off and I went to work. And I got to work, I usually get to work around 6-ish. Anyway, but yeah, I got to work, and like, I didn't do a lot, because well, if you didn't know, I was a nanny. So I got to work, and both the babies were still sleeping. And the youngest baby, he woke up, but we just sat on the couch, because it takes him a while. I don't like to stir him up, so he took his time waking up or whatever. And I remember like having the urge to like use the restroom, like, well, to pee. I had to pee really bad, so I went to use the bathroom, and then I was walking back to the living room, and I sat down, like, I had to pee again. And like, at this point it hadn't broken, but I just had felt the urge to pee, so I went and tried to pee again. I'm not sure if I could or I couldn't, but I remember walking back to sit down again, and like 5 minutes later I was like, I still have to pee. So when I woke up, I remember like just feeling this big gush of water, and like, it just, I don't even know if it registered to me. Like, I'm really weird in like panicky situations. Like, I put on a brave face and I just keep going. So I went to the restroom, and like, water was just flowing out of me. And like, by this time I guess I knew what it was, so I started to get nervous, and I just called my boss and let her know what was going on. And she told me to call like the on-call doctors, because at this time, like, my clinic wasn't even opened up. My doctor's office wasn't open. So I called the on-call doctor and I let them know what was going on. They told me that it sounded like my water was breaking, so I needed to come in. So, and like, I didn't go like that was probably around, I really don't even, because I think it was still dark, so that may have been around like 6:40, something like that. And I didn't leave. I don't think I left until like 30 minutes later, because I had to wait for the kids' grandparents to get there, and like nothing like started to happen then. Like it was like my water broke and everything was just still fine. So I called my husband and I drove to the hospital. And when I got there, I was by myself, because he had to drive almost an hour, 30 minutes just to that place where the doctor was. So when I got there, they checked me, and literally all the fluid was gone. Like I had maybe like a centimeter of fluid left, but the baby's heartbeat and everything was still fine. And at this point, I didn't know what was going on, because I didn't know that I didn't even know it was something that was possible. So I'm like, I didn't have any thoughts. Like I didn't understand any of it, because in some cases, this ain't making no sense. That morning I woke up, I remember taking a bath, and I can remember having like a sharp pain. Like I felt I was hurting, but I didn't think anything of it, because anytime I went to the doctor, everything was always normal. Any symptom I told them about was normal. Anything I felt was normal. Any discharge I had was normal. Everything was always normal. So I'm thinking my pregnancy was perfectly fine. Now let's go back, because I do remember a point in, I don't know if it was early November or late October, but I do remember a point of me waking up one morning and having bleeding, and it wasn't like flowing, but it was enough to be alarmed about. So I called them. I went in, they checked me. By the time I got to the doctor, it had stopped, because I live about an hour away from my doctor. So by the time I got to the doctor, it had stopped. Everything was perfectly fine. His heartbeat was fine. I was fine. Everything was fine. So that happened, and that they still say that had nothing to do with it either. So and it's sad, because I feel like so many women have this struggle, and it's just, and as much as it's talked about, it's not talked about enough. Like that's the crazy part. Like because when I experienced this, my mind was blown at how little information it was on it, but how many women it happens to, and how many families it happens to. And I just couldn't, I couldn't understand it then, and I don't understand it now. So, and now I'm not gonna be able to do it before my husband comes home. So whatever. Last December, I gotta get it together. Maybe if I write some stuff down. So if y'all see me writing, it's just I'm just trying to get my mind together. So last September 2018, my husband and I found out we were pregnant, and I had a very healthy pregnancy. Like nothing was wrong. I'm a very healthy person. My husband is healthy. Like we don't have no issues or anything like that. But and I made it to about, it was September, October, November, because it was right after, no, I get it out real. It was November 27th because I went back to work. I went back to work after Thanksgiving, after the holidays. Regular day. Like that morning I woke up and I felt some sharp pain, but it wasn't like nothing that I didn't normally feel, so I didn't think anything of it. I just took my bath. I went to work and everything was fine, and I noticed that I had to use the restroom a lot, so I was going back and forth peeing, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. So like I would go pee and I would literally go sit on the couch and I'd get right back up and go pee, and then out of nowhere my water broke, and I believe I was only 14 weeks at the time. I can't remember the exact point, but I was 14 weeks. So I called my doctors and they wanted me to come into the emergency room. I got there and they determined that like my water had broken the sac, like all the amniotic fluid was like completely gone down to 1 centimeter, and the doctor told me, he was like, I'm gonna keep you on a 72-hour hold because most of the times when your water breaks, you'll go into labor within that time frame. So, of course, I was devastated, but like I drove myself there because my husband was at work, I was at work, so, and he had to drive himself there. And by the time he made it there, they had already talked to me because like he didn't know what was going on, but just the look on his face was just terror, and like I never forget that look. But okay, so I got admitted into the hospital, and I stayed there 3 days. They monitored me around the clock. Like baby's heart rate stayed completely healthy, like high, healthy, normal, like never dropped. Baby still had movement. It was just no water, no amniotic fluid in the sac, and like without that the baby's lungs can't develop, they can't do anything. And like at that point it was no shots they could give me, it was nothing they could do. And that's the most, to hear somebody, to be in that situation and to hear like, well, there's nothing we can do, like there's nothing we can do, like unless God works a miracle, there is nothing we can do. And at that, like I had never even heard of, because what they call it PPROM, and it's preterm premature rupture of the membranes, and I never heard of that. I never knew that your water could break before it was time for you to have that baby. I never knew none of that, and it was so confusing. It was so shocking. It was so little information on it. Like it's so rare, but it happens too much. So I don't understand how it's rare, but it happens to a lot of people. And it was just, that was a very insane time. Okay, so we stayed 3 days in the hospital, and then the third day, like no baby had came, so I was checked out, and I was sent home to be on bed rest. So I was at home. I came home on bed rest, and I think that lasted for about, let me look at the calendar so I can tell y'all exactly. 27, 28, 29, 30 is. I'm not sure if I went home on a Saturday. But that Tuesday, I think I remember, that following Tuesday, I went in for a checkup, and she said I dilated 1 centimeter, and I needed to go back to the hospital. No, I dilated 1 centimeter, and she sent me back home. She sent me home. Yep. That was December 4th. I dilated 1 centimeter. She was like, and she sent me home to be on like strict bed rest. I couldn't get up. I could only get up to go use the restroom. That was it. And I don't know if it's like, it was the pressure, like, because when I have to, like, getting out of my bed, like my bed is really high off the ground. I'm really short. And like the struggle, like I would struggle so much just to sit up, because like in my mind I was like, I wanted to do it as easy as possible. Bailey, I know it's not my fault. My thoughts. Okay, I went in, she checked my cervix, like and she said that I was 1 centimeter dilated. Now before I was in the hospital, like my cervix never opened, nothing like that. Everything was still closed. It's just all the water was out. So I dilated that 1 centimeter, and she sent me home that Tuesday. And that night, like that night I would get up and go to the restroom through the night, and like I would try my best, and like I knew I felt some pressure, but I was just like, I felt a lot of pressure, but I was just hoping it was nothing. So my husband was gonna get up and go to work, because when I was on bed rest, I was at home by myself. I would have to lay in the bed and like kind of figure out how to get it done by myself. So I said, well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom one more time before he goes to work. Like he was literally about to walk out the door, and I was like, well, help me to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and it's like, I was like, it's something there, like it's something right there. And I was too afraid to look or feel, so I asked my husband, I was like, I said, it's something right there, can you look and see? When he looked, and like, he looked, and he was like, it's the baby's feet. And I was just like, I'm weird in times like that. Like I don't like to show a lot of emotion. I don't like to panic, because I don't like to make the other person feel any worse. So it's like I knew my husband was scared, and I knew he was like devastated, but it's like I didn't want him to feel worse about how I felt. So I tried to be as calm as I could. Like I patted dry, because I didn't want to wipe, and I put on some sweats, and we drove 45 minutes to the hospital with my baby's feet hanging out of me. When I got to the hospital, they admitted me. They hooked me up to the things, like nothing happened. They didn't put me into labor. They didn't make anything happen at that point. So over time, like it may have been, well, no, because my doctor wasn't there yet. Y'all, I'm sorry, but we got to the hospital about 6 a.m. My doctor didn't get there until about 8:40. And then when she got there, it was like, okay, it's time to push. And I pushed, and that was my baby. Like, just came out of her hand, just like that. And like, yeah, I cannot even express, because like it was my husband, me, my doctor, and I think 2 nurses in the room. And during the time where I had to push, like we like everybody in the room literally stopped, because like my husband was losing it, and just I don't know, like that terrified me more, because like when he saw him, like he lost it. And like I was just like, and she asked me, did I want to see him? And I was just like, no, because I was scared. But she was like, no, it's okay. And I saw him, and it's something you never ever forget. Like, it's a pain that I can't even explain. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was not okay after that. That was in December of last year. And then May of, like, I was supposed to, like, and my baby was supposed to be due May of this year. In May of this year, I got pregnant again, and this time I got pregnant with twins. And like, I felt so blessed. I was so happy. I was like, there's no way God would bless me like this and then take it away. Like, I tried to have full confidence in it. Like, I stopped working. My doctor, she let me work for like 3 weeks into the pregnancy, and then she was like, that's it, because like it's a whole lot. And then like given the history and the fact that the things they could have done with the singleton, they couldn't do with twins. So they couldn't sew my cervix, because it could have broke my water like that. And they couldn't have given me I think those shots or whatever, because it's not proven that it will help in a twin pregnancy, and insurance and things won't cover it. And it's like a $1,400 shot every time you get it, and you have to have it every week. But so we were excited, elated. Like, I have like I just believed. I believed that that was for me. I believed that that was for my like for my family. Like we all believed hard and like we prayed hard, and from everything was fine up until the last week of July. And like I don't know, it was I didn't do anything special. I know my best friend and her family came down, and all we did was we went out to eat and we went to Target. But even when I did stuff like that, my husband made me ride around in a little cart, so it's like I really wasn't doing anything. And that night we kind of stayed up late watching movies, and like I felt uncomfortable, but I thought it was just like the pressure from having 2 babies inside you. So I tried to go to sleep, and then I woke up like with a sharp pain, and like I was just like, what is this? And this may be TMI, but I had to poop so bad, and like that immediately like alarmed me. Like it scared me, because I'm just like, well, if I'm pushing and I'm struggling and I'm pushing that hard, like I'm afraid that something's gonna happen. And like I was just like, I would pee, I would make this, and I get back in the bed, and I would pee, get back in the bed. And I just like, I'm like, this feel too familiar, but I'm like, this can't be what it is. And like, my anxiety was so high at that point, because it was like 4 in the morning. Like, I just could not go to sleep. So I came outside and I sat on the porch. And like, when I finally started to calm back down around like 6 o'clock, I went and got back in the bed. Me and my husband tried to go back, because he came outside with me. And like, he was like, no, that's not it. That's like, he's like, that's not what's going on. You're just uncomfortable. And I'm just like, okay, like I'm telling you, like I know my body, I know what's happening. And I tried to go back to sleep, and I was like, well, but I still had the urge. It's like this cramping, like just like I had to poop. Like it just wasn't working. So I went and I tried again, and I was pushing. Like, no, that's something I'm not supposed to do, but it's like, I don't know. I just didn't know what to do. So, I can't remember if I called my doctor and told him what I felt, or if I didn't call him. But well, all in all, my water broke again. I felt the big gush, and like this gush wasn't like the first gush. Now my water broke the first time. Like it was so much. I actually stopped my boss's toilet up because like I used that much tissue, because I didn't know what was going on. I just kept wiping. And going to the hospital, I had to put on one of the babies, like I had to put one of the diapers in my underwear just so I could not be leaking everywhere, because like everything came out. And this time it was a gush, but it didn't, I didn't feel like I was empty. So like I was kind of like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just me pushing too hard. Maybe that just wasn't, maybe it wasn't it. So we went in, they tested the fluid, and that's what it was. But my baby's heart rates were still fine, like everything was still good. But the baby on the bottom was like really, really low. Oh, y'all. So I ended up I stayed at this hospital for a day, and they monitored the baby out through the night. Like they checked the heart rate, because they couldn't hook me up to monitors. I don't know why. Like I'm gonna stop before I get frustrated. But I stayed at that hospital for overnight, and then I was supposed to go see my doctor at the clinic in the morning. So we got checked out, and I went to the clinic and I saw my doctor, and I'm not sure what. I think what she told me, she was like, well, she just didn't feel comfortable with me being at the other hospital, so she wanted me to be closer to her. So I was to go check into that hospital and just be monitored a little bit more, basically just like they did last time. So I went, we left. And we left the clinic, we went to get something to eat, and then we stopped by the church, and we had Pastor pray for us. And like I think we were trying anything and trying to pull from any hope and any power from anywhere, because it was just like, God, please don't let this happen again. Like just don't let it happen again. Like I I didn't need to feel that again. My husband didn't need to feel that again. But we got our food, then we went and got checked in, and it got hard fast, because when they checked me in, they checked me into the same exact room I was when I had the last baby. That was like taunting. Like I couldn't get comfortable in the bed they had me in. Like they had me in like a delivery bed, like the ones that pull apart and this and that. Like I was so uncomfortable. Like and like all the memories kept like flooding back, and like it was just hard. And I stayed in there for about maybe 3-4 hours, and like, and when it was time to go to sleep, I could not go to sleep. My husband was like, he just finally spoke up, and he was like, can y'all please get her out of here? Like, this is the same room we were in last time. Like, she just can't do it. And they was like, and they were really nice about it, and I'm so grateful for them. Like, the nurses, all my nurses and all the staff were so nice. So they changed my rooms out. I got into a more comfortable bed, and like I was able to get sleep. And y'all, that okay, but like I was saying, this second pregnancy, like the process was hard. Like I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I was on bed rest for 3 weeks. Like I could not get out of the bed. Like they had these things on my legs to pump my legs to make sure I didn't get blood clots. It was a mess. I was getting round the clock medicine because it got to a point, like my babies were fine, and then it got to a point where like I know it was contractions. Like I know I was in labor, but I was in labor for about 3 days. I felt this for about 3 days, like the most intense pains, like the most intense. I can't even say it was, like I can't even explain that pain. And like the doctors, they told us, well, it's like there's nothing else, there's no other medicine we can give you besides an epidural. And I was just like, I don't want an epidural, because no, I gotta tell the story straight, because one baby came before the other one. The baby at the bottom, he was the lowest, and like he ended up coming on July the, yeah, I'm sorry, this video, I'm just trying to tell it so I can get it off my chest, because I keep feeling like I know people go through it and nobody knows. And I don't know if I'm even doing it right, but I know that people go through it, and like it's really nothing out there that can help you with it. So let me see. I got my water broke on July the 20th, and I had the baby on July. I had the baby boy on July the 26th, and I went through a whole week of waiting. We were just in the hospital waiting, not like nothing going on. Like I had so many IVs in that time. Like they couldn't put them in my hands anymore. They started putting them in the sides of my arm. They started putting them like up here and up. I just had IVs everywhere. When I was so bruised and so banged up when I left. It was crazy. But the time between losing the baby boy and trying to have hope that I would keep the little girl was crazy, because at one point she was upright, then in the next point she flipped down, she was head down, then the next day she was back up, and like it was a whirlwind. And then it was like one, and I was going back and forth. I wish I could tell it so it can make sense, but I can't, y'all. I'm just trying to get it out. And then if y'all have questions and want to know more about it, maybe I can formulate a better video, because I can't even really get it out. But those 3 nights, those 3 days leading up to the day when I had the little girl, everything hurt so bad. It was so much pressure. Like I was on I was on medicine like round the clock. Like, that's the most medicine I have ever had in my life. And like, I'm not a person that likes to take medicine. I'll wait till it gets too bad. And like, my nurses would get on. They was like, Bria, don't wait till it's too bad. Bria, don't, like, call us if you need us. Like, do this if you need it. But it's like, I don't know, that's just me. Like, I try to take it. Like, I want to take it. Like, I want to push through. And I want to make sure that I'm not further harming my child. So, it had to be, I was supposed to go home. Oh, I don't even know. Okay, that's it. I had the little boy I had the little boy on July the 26th. So, August the 1st, I was going through so much, so they moved me back to the labor room. I was going back and forth there like every other day because like they thought I was coming, they thought I was with them. Like, I was in so much pain that night. It was ridiculous. And like I told the woman, I was like, I was like, I just need, I had to, like, I was having to pee in a bedpan, having to poop in a bedpan. Like, it was, like, I couldn't, because I was not allowed to get up, because I guess anything could have made her come out. Like, any amount of push, any amount of pressure could have made her come out. And I remember asking the doctor, I was like, well, can y'all, I mean, not asking the nurse, I'm like, I just really have to use the restroom. Can you help me to the restroom? And I can't even remember if I was able to use the restroom, because like when she opened my legs, like my baby just fell out. And they was like, it's like, I didn't know that I was, like, my body was like, even though I wasn't pushing like that, like those, they had to be contractions. Like, they was so hard, like it was pushing, it was pushing her out itself. And like, it was such a defeated feeling. It was, I just did, it just hurt. It hurt so much. And what was crazy that it got wilder after that, because when the baby boy came out, they didn't take his placenta out. They just stitched it up, tied it back up, because they didn't want to rupture hers or pull on hers or anything. So when I had her, and like they were trying to get the placenta out, like it was just like I was basically bleeding out. And like it was so much, like it was so much blood, like it was falling on the floor. You could hear it hit the floor. This is next. So stuff just got crazy. They was bringing in papers, signing this, having my husband sign papers. They were giving me, like, shooting me up, like, y'all. It got real fast. So I had to go into emergency surgery, like, and coming out of it, like, you know, you feel like you do when you come out of surgery, but like I had lost so much blood, I had to have a blood transfusion. Like, it was just a mess. It was a mess. It was so traumatizing. It was the most horrible experience I think I've ever, well, I ain't gonna even say I think, it was the most horrible thing I have ever been through. And to have gone through it twice, and for them to still have no answers, for them to still not know why, it drives me absolutely insane. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm not even close to being okay. Most days, like, this was forced. Most days I cannot get out of bed. Most days I don't want to get out of bed. Most days I don't want to do anything. It's like I'm at this point, I'm miserable, I am broken, but I'm trying. And to any mother, anybody who has lost a child in any way, I feel you. Like, I commend you for trying. I commend you for showing up in life, because it is hard. And if people, I get out, nobody will ever be able to understand. Nobody, unless you go through it, you just won't get it. But I feel like I had to get this off my chest just to let you guys know. And then I guess I now try again to making a video about what it is and all of that. But this is just what I've been going through. This is why everything is a mess and up in the air, and it's just all over the place. And anybody else has ever been through this, please talk to me down in the comments below. Please share with me your experience. Please encourage me. I encourage you. Like, just, something has to change. It has to. I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Okay. As I was sitting down editing like the raw footage of the stuff that I was feeling in that time frame, like it made me realize a lot of what I left out in the video y'all gonna see, or in this video. But I just want to point out, I did go to my 2-week checkup. There was no information given there. She really didn't have an answer. She didn't have a reason. She did tell me that I probably would never be able to carry a child full term. Like I don't have any problems conceiving. I just have a problem. My body just has a problem with my water breaking too early. And it's not that my cervix opens or anything like that. Like I don't go into labor. It's just my water breaks, and then over time it just progresses. But I don't know what that is. She doesn't know what that is. So she did refer me to a specialist, but I haven't gone to see the specialist yet. I had 2 appointments and I canceled both because I'm just not mentally ready. Like I've been struggling. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like I have a psychiatrist, I have a therapist, I have a counselor. I've been going to the counseling since January of this year. Y'all, it's November and I'm still not okay. Like, just to be real with y'all, like just 2-3 days ago I was down in the slump. So I don't want to make I don't want to sugarcoat it for you. I don't want to. I'm just not okay, and I don't expect anybody that goes through what I've went through to be okay. Because if you saw in the previous video, like my husband and I have been through so much in so little time, and it's just a lot right now. And I want to know what the problem is, but I just don't want my mind there right now. But I just wanted to say, I haven't been to the doctor. I haven't talked to the specialist. I know that there are still options. I'm still hopeful. It's just, I'm not ready. My mind is gone. But I don't know, y'all. I believe it's gonna get better. I believe that somebody out there has been through this. I know people have been through this and they're looking to see what it looks like. And I'm not gonna even lie, it ain't even pretty. Like my process ain't been pretty. It ain't been easy, and it's been long, and like I am dying to get out of it. Like I would love to just get out of this, but that's just not how it works. It's something you just have to go through. Like you have to allow God to take you through it. You grow through it. It hurts. It sucks every single day. I'm not gonna lie. But you just have to keep going, and I hate hearing that because I'm just like, how am I keep going? It's a mess right now. I'm frustrated. I'm broken. Like, it's half faith. What about what I'm doing is not having faith? I ain't gonna even go on that tangent but I just want you women to know that I feel you. If you having thoughts like that, I feel you. If you want, we can talk back and forth. We can email because I feel you. If you need to vent, I feel you. I feel you. Oh.